Them's Fightin' Herds is a 2D combat game with beautiful animals. Key features include intuitive fighting, a narrative mode, local and internet multiplayer, detailed instructional and training modes, a pixel lobby, and an adaptive soundtrack system. Players may learn about the game's 4-button combat system, unique magic mechanic, devastating super strikes, and juggling degradation. The game also includes a multiplayer option, tutorials, and a sophisticated training area where players may hone their abilities. The Pixel Lobby lets gamers customize their avatars and engage with other players online. Transiruby is an exciting Metroidvania adventure in which players take on the role of Sarubi, a powerful cyborg hero on a cosmic trip to a strange world. Together with her AI companion, Nikom, they go on an adventurous journey to explore unexplored terrain. Players may engage in fast-paced swordplay, collect gold tranships to unlock new stages, and utilize an elemental pistol to freeze enemies and build platforms. Sarubi may also turn into an aircraft or a motorbike. The game offers outstanding action adventure and creative riddles. Teslagrad II, the sequel to the famous physics-based game, is an exciting journey in which Lumina, a teenage Teslamancer, becomes trapped in the north. She sets off on a perilous journey to reunite with her family and return home. The game has better graphics, a bigger world, and additional puzzle-solving tools. Key features include Scandinavia meets Metroidvania, an immersive 2D environment full with hidden items and legend. Epic boss confrontations provide new powers and regions to explore. Teslagrad 2 likewise incorporates visual storytelling with no text, voiceover, or loading screens to disrupt action. Young Billy and Jimmy Lee take on the job of driving criminal groups out of their city. The game includes a unique and dynamic level structure, with objectives altering based on the sequence picked. Players may engage in tag team battles, use royal aspects, and experiment with 13 different characters. The game also lets users customize their experience and prizes by changing the difficulty and using tokens to unlock content from the token shop. Local co-op option allows up to 2 players to clean up the city streets simultaneously. Super Crush KO is a fast-paced brawler game set in a future city. Players must negotiate deadly robots, save their kitten, and keep civilization safe from an AI apocalypse. The game has lightning-fast gameplay that blends run-and-gun action with violent beat-em-up fighting. To sustain momentum, players can use strong moves like as ground smashes, aerial assaults, and super beams. The bright world finds inspiration in metropolitan cityscapes and pastel skylines. The game offers an adrenaline-fueled experience with quick reactions and strategic combat abilities. Andro Dunos II takes players on an epic side-scrolling voyage through space, allowing them to engage in violent fights and destroy opposing vessels with numerous weaponry. Players may improve their ship's powers by collecting power-ups from destroyed enemies. The game has spectacular visuals and visual effects, hard boss battles, and several difficulty levels to fit all skill levels. Online leaderboards allow players to compete for top scores and bragging rights. Hidden mysteries and Easter eggs are sprinkled throughout the game to encourage exploration and curiosity. The lives of the protagonists in Valiant Hearts: The Great War become connected throughout the game as they deal with friendship, love, sacrifice, and sorrow while attempting to keep their humanity in the face of war's atrocities. In Valiant Hearts: The Great War, you'll go on an animated comic book adventure set in a highly stylized universe. Explore, solve riddles, and participate in action-packed moments as you venture behind enemy lines and fight for your life. Experience history come to life as you retrace key battles on the Western Front and explore historic World War I countries. In Sound Mind is a first-person psychological horror game that takes place in a mystery building. Players must investigate a series of victims exposed to the same experimental chemical, see strange visions, and meet a cat named Tonia. In Sound Mind, developed by Nightmare House 2, is a unique and exciting horror experience complete with hard puzzles, mechanics, and boss encounters. The game has an ominous soundtrack by The Living Tombstone, which immerses players in a realm of psychological fear. Players may engage with Tonia, petting and bonding with the feline friend. Sine Mora is an incredible side-scrolling shoot-'em-up game that provides an unrivaled challenge, with time being a critical factor. Sine Mora delivers a spectacular shoot-'em-up experience by combining traditional shooter components with contemporary graphics. It offers players a compelling story mode that recounts an epic story, as well as an arcade mode that gives genuinely enjoyable gameplay for genre enthusiasts. With many temporal manipulation elements at your disposal, Sine Mora has an astounding arsenal of over 50 weapon combinations.
You know exactly how much time you have left.
Saga of Sins is an action-adventure game with a mysterious tale and arcade gameplay. Players take on the role of the virtuous cleric Cecil, who has the ability to change into 4 distinct demonic monsters in order to combat the 7 deadly sins and free Sinwell, a plague-ridden town. Each monster has unique talents that may be improved with gold dropped by adversaries. Players may swap between the animals on the fly, and each has a deadly power dash. The game allows players to explore the thoughts of 31 villagers with sinner levels based on each of the 7 deadly sins.
Chosen vessel.
Afterimage is a 2D action-adventure set in a magical world, where Renee, an amnesiac girl, awakens to save her master. The game takes place in a non-linear setting with over 50 NPCs and 30 monster encounters. Players may interact with over 200 distinct equipment classes and use talent points to increase stats and unlock unique weapon talents. Renee's decisions decide the game's outcome and affect Garden's destiny. Players can also learn new talents and afterimages, which provide distinct advantages in exploration and fighting each other.
I pass this duty on to you.
The Lightbringer is a poetry adventure platformer game set in a world riddled by evil depravity. The protagonist, led by their sister's ghost, must cleanse the taint and become the Lightbringer. The corruption is aimed at ancient monoliths, which serve as sources of power and illumination throughout the region. The protagonist has the power to extract pure light energy from the environment, which is an essential resource for purifying the monoliths. The game combines exploration, platforming, and battle, with each level acting as its own planet.
Lightbringer. Your stories.
The kingdom of Electropia is threatened by a cruel ruler, so a young lad finds safety in the Tesla Tower, which was previously the stronghold of the Teslamancers. The tower contains the secret to survival, and the youngster must use the equipment left behind by the Teslamancers, as well as his own wits, to discover the lost skill of Teslamancy. The game has fascinating puzzles, exploration, visual storytelling, and a steampunk-inspired setting. The remake of Teslagrad provides an upgraded electromagnetic experience with updated visuals while retaining the original game's platforming mechanics. The game takes players on an epic adventure across 4 acts, from Westmere to the Sky Imperium. To save Rendia. To vanquish the enemies, players must control groups of up to 3 heroes each. The game has 10 different heroes, each with their own set of abilities and playstyles. Players may level up, train and outfit their heroes with weapons, armor, and charms. Procedurally created levels and dungeons give a high level of replayability. Players can select between the tough and casual difficulty levels. A brave warrior's spirit is stuck in the harsh world of Niffelheim, necessitating a voyage to Valhalla. The quest entails traveling rough terrain, pillaging territory, and exploring dangerous dungeons. The purpose is to demonstrate one's worth to the deities and discover mysterious mysteries. The player must defeat fallen enemies, construct fortifications, and find an escape path to Asgard. Mastering the art of creating and discovering old caverns will aid in the final encounter. The final aim is to reveal hidden mysteries and vanquish the Death Priests. Ganryu 2 is the sequel to Ganryu. Players take on the role of Miyamoto Musashi. A spirit tells him that their war is far from done and that he must go throughout Japan to release Kojiro's spirit. The hack-and-slash gameplay experience, traversing 17th century Japan across seasons, confronting Kojiro in the floating fortress, using abilities like dashing, double jumping, wall jumping, and kunai throwing, gaining an edge with kamis, gathering Hanafuda cards, and immersing players in a visually stunning pixel art style reminiscent of classic titles like Shinobi 3 and Shadow Dancer. Override 2 Super Mech League is a game in which players participate in worldwide mech warfare leagues for their respective teams, using a broad selection of returning and new mechs. Players may join mech leagues and gain reputation by competing in arenas throughout the world. Career mode ranked rumbles, mech mania, hazardous arenas, updated game modes, and numerous customizations are among the game's key features. Players may tailor their playstyle to different match types and experience a variety of unique skills and powers.
Still waiting. He ain't looking like the old king.
Regalia of Men and Monarchs is a strategic role-playing game set in a distant country, with the player inheriting a debt-ridden monarchy. They begin on a journey to reclaim their family's legacy, which includes difficult turn-based fights, various missions, and distinct monsters. The game has a combination of comedy and grandeur. Players must recruit courageous warriors, administer regions, and form alliances to assure prosperity and expansion. The world is exquisitely designed with breathtaking vistas, dynamic cities, and lovely villages.
Regalia to its former glory.
Pleased to meet you.
In the case.